Thank you, Jock and Ina, for this opportunity. But also just thank you, Jock, for the message. And I think by you sitting down was a reminder for me of this message today. Because God said that we will enter into his rest. And I want to read for us in Luke chapter 22 from verse 14. And it says, when the hour had come, he sat down, and the 12 apostles with him. And that was even before he started with the communion. Before they had communion, he sat down. And last week also you said that sitting down is a sign of resting. It is finished. It is already finished. Sitting at the right hand of the Father. And when we partake of the communion now after Jesus has already died on the cross, we take it from the place of rest. We take it from that place that it's already done. It's a finished work. Verse 15, and then he said to them, with fervent desire, I have desired to eat this Passover with you before I suffer. Jesus knew he was going to suffer. He knew that there was going to be a few things that happened. And if you go back a little bit in verse 7, it says in the last part, when the Passover must be killed. He knew he had to die so that the fulfillment of the Passover could come to pass. He knew it, but yet he said, with a fervent desire, I have desired to share this Passover with you. So let's look at what fervent means. Fervent means to be hot, to have zeal, earnestly, intensely, passion, sincerity, devoted to God in a deep emotional intensity and earnestness. That is fervent. That is what it means. That took me to 1 Peter 4:8, where it says, and above all, have a fervent love for one another. For love will cover a multitude of sin. Jesus' fervent love covered our sin. And then it goes on, he says, desire, I have desired. So what does desire mean? I wish, I long for, I want, or to crave, or to want intimacy with someone. It's a strong, intense urge. In the Amplified Classic, it says, and he said to them, I have earnestly and intensely desired to eat the Passover with you. So I don't know about you, but for someone knowing that they are going to suffer persecution so that we can be set free, what is that you are desiring? Why would you desire to have Passover with us? The very people that would reject you, the very people that will deny you, that will push you to the side, like Jacques said, there was no guarantee that the Son would accept what the Father had done for him. There was no guarantee of that. And yet still he fervently desired to do that. So let's look at maybe things that God would have, or Jesus would have intently or fervently desired for us. Jesus fervently desired for our salvation, for the salvation of the world. He fervently desired to set his people free. And that is what he desired. He desired to dethrone the power of sin and darkness. What Adam gave away, Jesus restored on the cross. Paul said, if I remember correctly, "O death, where is your sting?" Jesus took away that sting. So when the enemy comes to roar at you, the only thing he can do is he can roar, because God already defanged him. He took away his bite. He can only gum you to death if you allow it. But he cannot bite you anymore. He's got no power over it. And then his desire was to restore intimacy with man. Relationship. You know, Adam walked with God in the cool of the day, every single day before the fall of man. Yet we have lost that. God was separated from us because of our sin. But now we are restored to the fullness. And his desire is for us to walk in intimacy with him. So when we partake of the communion, we should take it from the perspective of what God fervently desired for us. That he has come to set us free, that we will walk in the fullness of our salvation, that we will walk in the authority that Jesus has given us, that we will walk with the clothing, the new identity of what his Son already paid for. It is done. It is a finished work. From the very moment that the message started with Jock and everything that God has shared, with Luke chapter 15, with the Son, everything that was restored there, everything that was done there, fits in so perfectly with the communion. Because no longer are we slaves to sin, we have been set free. No longer do we have to think that a sickness is bigger than our God, because it's not. He took away that sting. We will walk free. We just have to remind ourselves of the finished work of the cross. That's why Jesus sat down, to remind us that it is finished. Yes, it is finished. I think so. Ina and Jock, if you wouldn't mind just handing out the communion elements, because I think this is where we need to stop.